I'd like to begin my presentation with the term of archives. In terms of archival science, the archives can be defined as an accumulation of recorded information of an organization or of a person created in the course of regular legal, fiscal, administrative or social activities and are kept for their evidential or informational value. For example, the whole of recorded and information of Ministry of Defense or personal archives of a celebrity. The archive includes information in all formats. Or it is defined an organization responsible for selection, acquisition, preservation and providing access to records of archival value. For example, public archives, national archives and municipal archives. This paper uses the term in both senses. The computing use of the term archive should not be confused with the record-keeping meaning of the term. Archival institution performs decision-maker as well as advisory roles. Archival institutions have a mandate to collect archival records of government offices and in some cases of private organization, that is, records that are identified as having archival value. The processes of appraisal and disposition are common processes to achieve the selection of archival records. Usually, this objective is supported by the Archives Act or regulations and the assignment of respective responsibilities. In one hand, the National Archives inactive as a government administration, and on the other hand, it functions as a cultural heritage organization. In that position, National Archives often takes up an advising role, helping organizations to organize properly their records and archive management, and create classification schemas, appraise the traditional records and information from other sources. All through, the mandate may differ in different jurisdictions, but the situation basically is the same around the world. For example, National Archives in Australia, Canada and UK support broader role of archives, but in Estonia the responsibility of National Archives is confined only with the supervision of records of archival value. In order to act effectively, archives not only have to adapt their policies and strategies, but they also need to ensure that their staff has adequate competencies, skills and knowledge. The action that enable an archives to act according to its mandate and achieve its objectives today and in the future, as well to influence the archives practices. It has to enhance knowledge about records and archives management through the provision of advice, support and guidance, provide services to the organization such as digital repository for the records of long-term preservation, or developing and issuing guidelines and best practices. The main purpose preserving information is to use it. During the retention period or until transfer to archival institution, the information in the organization must stay retrievable and accessible. For that reason, the organization should have an incomplete overview of the composition of the organization records and where they are found. And the users of information in organization overlap those who have created it. There is no need for additional description to that created in the course of business transactions and maintained in business systems and record management systems. The retrieval tools derive from the structure of record classification schema of an organization. The finding aids in archival institution differ significantly from those tools in the possession of an organization. There are three main reasons for that. First, the archives collect and preserve the archives fund of thousands of organizations through time. The second, the users of the information are not those who created it. And the third, the information could be used hundreds of years after the records were created. That's because the value of contextual information grows. The finding aids in archival institution could be inventories or catalogues, paper or digital. The finding aids provide information by describing the content and context of archival funds, provide details about the history of biographies of the creator, and also about the elements that make up the whole fund. It means series, files, and/or items. Finding aids could be prepared in accordance with international or national standards and/or rules of archival description. Archival institution must guarantee that the information from different institutions and from different systems are similarly found. Archival description promotes the accessibility to archival material. The Commission of Descriptive Standards, sponsored by the International Council of Archives, gave the definition of archival description: the creation of an accurate representation of a unit of description and its component parts. That serves to identify archival material and explain the context and record systems which produced it. In the context of archival description, it ensures that descriptions are consistent and appropriate, facilitate the retrieval and exchange of information about archival material, and make possible the integration of descriptions from different locations into a unified information system. Hierarchical model shows all possible combinations of descriptive levels. Purpose of archival description is to identify and explain the context and content of archival material in order to promote its accessibility. This is achieved by creating accurate and appropriate representations and by organizing them in accordance with predetermined models. Hierarchical model of international standards of archival description general includes font, series, file, and item levels that could be applied in description in different combinations. According to this standard, only 6 descriptive elements, reference code, title, creator, on each level are considered essential. Thank you for your attention.